Be sure you are mature enough to witness the shocking details of this video. Welcome to the Haunted Mansion. Feel right at home. I am the Phantom of the Gardens, and now I will tell you a scary fact. One of the girls spontaneously decided to wear a mask she found in the costumes box to the party and give her a friendly scare. At lunch, her friends said they needed to finish an assignment in the library and that they were sorry for ditching her. Zoe thought that was reasonable and that she kinda wanted some alone time at lunch anyway. She said, "Sure, that's fine," and got out her lunchbox while her friends went to go and secretly decorate the room where they were holding a mini party. She found a note in her lunchbox saying, "Meet me after school in the multi-purpose room." This was a little weird. Nobody ever gave her a note to tell her to meet her somewhere, especially not anonymously. Time drifted past and the final school bell rang for the day and she made her way to the party room. All the lights in the party room were off and so were the lights in the hallway that led to the room. Zoe was having paranoid thoughts of what might be in the room. What if it was the thing making the noise? She wondered. She was getting closer to the entrance, and she could see that it was pitch black inside. This was really starting to creep her out when suddenly, out of nowhere, the lights turned on and a human figure with a scary, disfigured face jumped from behind the side of the door. Zoe screamed and ran to the other side of the room and tripped over so she was sitting facing the thing that had just startled her. "Get the hell away from me. You are not going to get me, you miserable bastard," she shouted at the thing. Her friends took off the mask and said, "What the hell, Zoe? It's me. It was just a mask. Chill out and have some cake." Zoe still had a terrified facial expression and wasn't saying anything. She screamed, "I won't let you get me," before racing out of the hallway, grabbing her school bag which she had left at the entrance and running home. She didn't stop running. She couldn't stop running. She got home and stayed in front of her computer, writing something in a Microsoft Word document which was recovered on the 6th of June which read, "They are after me. I know it. I saw it at school. It took my friend's form and ripped its face off. I'm not gonna let it get me. It isn't gonna get me. I'm not crazy. I know it's true." Obviously, she was delusional by now. She stayed at her computer until 11:30 when her parents made her go to bed. She didn't want to go. She didn't want to be there that night. She didn't want to meet the cause of the noise. She got to her bedroom and looked up at the ceiling. There was a hole in it. It was about the same size and shape of a large-sized shoe. There was no way that this was her imagination now. She showed her parents the hole, but they assumed that the hole was caused by Zoe and shouted, "Zoe, how could you do this? You really have to be more careful. We can fix it this weekend, but the repairs will come out of your pocket money." "What? But I didn't do this. It was the thing that's making the noise," she retaliated. "Zoe, we have no idea what you mean about these noises. We haven't heard anything. Now go to bed and stop talking back to us," said her mother calmly. She was withholding a massive amount of emotion. She had been locked in her room by her parents as a form of punishment and she was extremely angry yet terribly afraid of the hole in her ceiling. She didn't know what to do. She felt like punching a way through her wall but she just couldn't. So she just hopped onto her bed and cried deeply for about 10 minutes, then quickly got over her anger. Now she was incredibly scared of what was going to happen to her that night. She couldn't do anything but lie in her bed, as still as a rock. She was trapped. She felt quite tired after sobbing for a while, but it was already 11:40 p.m. so she saw no reason to go to sleep for 20 minutes and be woken up again. She was lying there for what felt like hours until she looked at the clock. 11:59 p.m. This was it. Whatever this bastard that had been causing so much discord to Zoe was going to get what it wanted. She was staring at the hole, when suddenly, a bright white eye was visible from it. The eye was dripping with blood and it was directly above Zoe's face. Drip, drip, drip. The blood was leaking from its eye. And the eye, it was astounding. It was the size of a drinking glass, with the white fleshy part of the eye surrounding a bright, soul-piercing red iris, which was in turn surrounding a deep black pupil. The pupil looked as you could fall right into its deep darkness and drown. Zoe was panicking, but she had no other option other than to stay where she lay. She couldn't escape out of her door, and she felt as if moving may provoke the thing to do something terrible. The eye didn't stop leaking blood until the beast decided to break a larger hole in the ceiling with a brick that seemed to be attached to his hand and wiped his eye. This gave her a view of both of the beast's eyes and its arm, which was dangling from the side of the hole. "What?" it said. Zoe had a look of complete and utter terror plastered on her face. She had no idea it could talk. "What did you think telling people about me would solve?" it asked her. She couldn't speak. In that moment, the beast tore an even larger hole in her ceiling, big enough for it to fit through, and jumped onto Zoe's bed, revealing its terrifying stature. It was skinny, long and completely black apart from the two eyes on its head and the bricks attached to the ends of its arms. Zoe tried to scream, but it was hopeless. There was nothing she could do now that would change her fate. The beast plunged the brick appendages into her chest, tearing out every organ in sight. Zoe couldn't make a sound, just weird gurgling noises as she coughed up blood. The beast tore out her heart, and at that moment, her body fell, lifeless. The beast stopped after that. He had caused enough damage to the young girl, but he wasn't finished in that room. He threw the corpse onto the ground and scooped some blood out of the pool he had dug out of her lungs, and with the blood, he started to half carve, half write something into her ceiling. May 28th, 2008. Her parents got up early to unlock her bedroom door and couldn't believe their eyes. Their daughter, body and organs mangled, was lying on the floor with a mouth filled with blood. Blood dropped on her left cheek and a large dent in her chest, also filled with blood. Her mother fell to the ground in tears. Her father looked up at her ceiling and agreed, "You should have listened to her." The end. Join us, subscribe,